name's Teri Walton, and you see me around at church doing the floor monitoring when Rosemary isn't doing it, and get to talk to John and those folks up in tech heaven, make sure mics are on, that sort of thing. My job during the week is as a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I work with foster and adoptive families, and that kind of was the inroad to Egypt. I can't say that Egypt was on my mind or Wendell's mind until Chemo started talking about his trip in January, and for some reason the story about the boy that he played with on the soccer field touched my heart, and I thought, I can't wait till he gives his presentation. So that was the first little step, and then it was going to his presentation, hearing more, and still not being totally sure this is it. And then I found out that they needed like a therapist type person there, some counseling skills, and I thought, okay, that's why God wants me to go. So up until that point, I thought it was more about finances and just seeing how our church is supporting the seminary or churches there. To me, counseling had nothing to do with that, so I never envisioned that being part of it. So when that piece came to be, I thought, okay, that made it pretty clear for me. You know, I knew my purpose was to go over with counseling skills. That was my little niche, but I had no idea that they would come into use as often as they did in the situations that they did. And one of those times was here. We had just gotten done teaching Sunday school, and I hear this kid screaming in the foyer. So I go out there and I'm asking my interpreter, who is that adult with that kid and what is he doing? Is that his caretaker, his father? No, no, no. So I immediately kicked into gear and I'm like, everybody out. And I talked to this kid, and he was in tears. He was just totally traumatized. And I sat down with him, and it turns out that in Egypt, feelings are not really talked about very much. And so for him to talk about his feelings was a bit strange for him. But I was able to figure out what was going on. And then his mom came in, and we started talking about stuff at home and how he was misbehaving. And then I was telling him, I said, do you know how much your mom loves you? And his whole demeanor changed. He went from this kind of tough kid to this like, yeah. And it was just so endearing. And it just kind of crossed any sort of cultural lines that, the bond between a mother and a child and the love that they share is so meaningful. What I can say is I just felt very valued. Like I really had a purpose in being there, and at times when I didn't expect that to be of value. Anywhere from having hand sanitizer on hand when we all needed hand sanitizer, or my Tide pen when we got a stain on our shirt, or just little things like that. For some reason, that just sticks out as like, oh, I'm glad I had what people needed and was able to make it that much more doable. So, and the other thing that really struck me was just how well we all got along as a group, the 5 of us, and I couldn't have asked for a better combination of people. It was so much fun, and the humor and the craziness. You're dealing with heat and crazy driving and this and that, and it all added to the experience of it. Very memorable.